it is I, Hannah Ruhamah, the Kombucha Mama. We are making elderberry syrup today, and I have the lovely blessing of being with friends. So here is my friend, Mira Dessy, the ingredient guru. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about elderberry syrup. The reason I always bring elderberry syrup when I'm going to one of these retreats is we've been traveling. That means we've been exposed to a lot of other microbes and other people's germs. We want to maintain our health. The holidays are coming up, and so we want to make sure that our immune systems are well supported. And so for that, I love our elderberry syrup kit. So at Kombucha Camp, we do have an elderberry syrup kit. You can do it with either sugar or raw honey. In this case, we're doing the raw honey. And for the cost of one, for half the amount, so this makes 2 cups total. If you were to buy 8 ounces of elderberry syrup, it would cost the same price as this kit. So you get double the amount you would get from the store and the benefit of making it yourself. Tell me, Mira, how does it smell in here?
Oh my God, it smells so fabulous in here right now.
It does. So the whole house smells really warm. So the kit is real easy to use. We just pull our little packaging off here. And then let's see what we've got inside. So here's the recipe.
And a little bit of cheesecloth.
We have elderberries. So this is 4 ounces of elderberries. And the great thing about this kit, we're going to use the whole thing. So you don't even have to worry about measuring stuff out. It's all pre-measured for you. What else? We have our organic chai spice. So this is going to be a blend. Let's see. What do we have in here? Ginger, orange peel. We've got clove. We've got cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes
and
aren't
this,
that great.
This actually smells fabulous all by itself. Like, just this is so warming and so fragrant. It's amazing.
And all those spices are warming. And so when we consume something with warming spices, what does that do to our bodies? Naturally, it's going to warm us up. So especially if you're in a colder climate or to help prevent colds, all of these spices are going to have health benefits that really support our immune systems, keep our circulation flowing, which of course can get a little stagnant at colder times of the year.
And the elderberries themselves are fabulous because they're high in vitamin C. They're rich in flavonols. They are highly antioxidant. So the combination of these two is a fabulous tonic for winter wellness.
And elderberries also have been used in traditional herbal medicine for thousands of years.
Yeah.
So the elder tree, and of course I love elderflower, which is a flavor of kombucha I do in the summer. So those flowers then in the summer turn into the berries in the fall. They then get harvested just in time for us to be able to make these lovely elderberry syrups, which then can be used in a bunch of different ways. So you can flavor your kombucha, your water kefir, and of course, you can also create what I call like an elderberry spritzer or a soother, and those recipes are also included with this kit. So let's get started. So yeah, you just pour the whole thing in.
Nice every last berry.
Every last berry.
And behind, there's a couple stuck in the fold.
And so when we make syrups, it can feel like, wow, I have to use a lot of material to create a syrup. And yes, that's correct. And that's because we're making a concentrated form using these ingredients. So it's 4 ounces of the elderberries. So we also have the elderberries available in bulk. So maybe you have some of these supplies at home. If you don't want to get the whole kit, you can grab our elderberries. You can grab our chai spice, which also comes in bulk. But just look how beautiful this is in the pan. So we've got everything mixing together here. And now we're going to add 4 cups of water. And if you have any questions about how to use the elderberries or how to make the syrup, please go ahead and drop us a question here. So now we're going to just turn it on high until it boils.
And let's get a spoon while we're here.
And so for this one, we're doing the raw unfiltered honey. So this is a really great honey brand. It's organic. And when we use the honey, we're going to add it at a different time than we would if it were sugar. So because we want to protect the living microbes present in the raw honey, we're going to add it later after the product has cooled down. With the sugar kit, so we have both an organic sugar kit or an organic honey, depending on which is your preference. We would put the sugar in when it's still warm because we want it to take advantage of that temperature in order to dissolve the sugar. Now, elderberry syrup is just one of many tools we can have in our kit, especially if we're thinking about immunity in the winter.
There are a lot of different things that we want to do to protect our immune system. I think the most important thing to remember is we don't want to wait until it's the dead of winter and all of a sudden we're not feeling well. The goal is to boost our immune system as early as possible. I am a huge fan of things like fire cider in addition to the elderberry, because that's got...
What is fire cider?
So,
yes.
Yeah, fire cider is a vinegar that has been steeped with a whole bunch of really wonderful nourishing things. So there's citrus fruits in there, ginger, horseradish, turmeric, warming spices, and you can change the flavor depending on your personal preference. I know some people love to put jalapeno or other hot peppers in there. I know I personally will say that I don't like it that spicy. The horseradish is about as far as I'm willing to go. And I actually have horseradish and ginger in my garden, so I can go get those and use them in my steeping. And for that fire cider, you can either buy it commercially, or there are certainly cookbooks or online kits or other things where you buy the basic spice ingredients and then you add the vinegar and the
So there's no cooking
citrus.
in that process.
There's
That's
no cooking. An infusion, yeah. So
And
it
then
just
come and
steeps
shake
for
the-
weeks. There's garlic in there too, and then at the end, once it's steeped enough, you strain it, and then you do heat it just a little bit and add the honey,
Okay.
and then set it aside. Have a spoonful of that every day. I'm also a huge fan of silver as a good additive.
Colloidal
So I prefer actually chelated silver.
Oh,
So
okay.
chelated silver is nanoparticles, so it's a little bit smaller, and it is actually more absorbed by the system. So that's a really great addition. And then, of course, I'm also a huge fan of adding great ingredients to everything you're cooking in the winter. We want all these warming, lovely foods, lots of turmeric, lots of garlic, lots of ginger, lots of onions. Those all have fabulous phenols and all kinds of antioxidant properties that are just going to really help boost your system.
Yes, and all of those things. It sounds really intense. Then we've got the honey, the teaspoon of sugar that's helping the medicine go down, but honey has its own host of medicinal properties. And so, for example, if you're struggling with a sore throat, a little bit of honey in your tea with lemon can really help with those types of symptoms. And so we know we have the heavy dutier medicines, but we can even take these preventatively, which is what we're doing here. So none of us here are sick, which is good.
I'd also like to point out,
Yeah.
honey is a preservative.
Right.
And so when we add honey to things like the elderberry syrup, to the fire cider, that kind of thing, it's helping to preserve it so that it's shelf stable.
Correct.
While we're using it throughout the season. And so that's really great. We don't have to have all the chemical preservatives that appear in over the counter.
And we're not doing it as a tincture, which would contain alcohol.
Exactly.
So while alcohol definitely has been used medicinally, we don't necessarily always want to have it. Though elderberry syrup can sometimes come as a tincture as well, because alcohol is a terrific solvent and preservative.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting just a tiny bit of a bubble here, not too much yet, but it's starting. And I have to say, the smell is intensifying in
Yes,
the kitchen.
it smells so good. And we did start another pot earlier, so we're going to show the rest of the process in just a little bit, just because it does take some time. So what we're going to do here is allow this to come to a boil, and you'll know because you'll start to smell it, and then we're going to turn it down to low and let it simmer. Now, how long it takes to simmer just really depends on the strength of your stove. So if your stove is really high powered, it may not take as long. Whereas if you have a slower stove or an electric stove, depending on your setting, it can take a little bit longer. But usually it takes somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. And all we're doing is we're taking this 4 cups of liquid and reducing it down by half. So we're making it half the amount of liquid as we had that we started. And of course, you know what happened earlier is I started this pot and I forgot about it and a lot of the liquid boiled off. So what did I do? I just went and added a little bit more. So just keep in mind, these are flexible, they're forgiving, and so if you find that you've accidentally forgotten about it and the smell didn't bring you back, don't worry, you can likely save it as long as there's still some liquid in the pot. So
because what you've done, part of the reason adding the liquid helps is when you reduce it below that 2 cups, you've actually concentrated it even more. So we're just rehydrating it a little bit, and it will still have all of the beneficial properties and all of the deliciousness that all of these wonderful spices and the elderberry bring to it. So I'm actually going to shout back out to you for a second, because over here I bought a kit this summer for the root beer, and I don't drink soda anymore. I just gave it up a long time ago, don't need it. But I do like bubblies, and I also like bubblies with flavor. So this is the root beer kit, and I made an amazing syrup from it.
Smell it.
And ooh, it's so good.
So for those who aren't familiar, root beer is, of course, a traditional Native American beverage because it's made with sarsaparilla. Both of those plants were native here to the United States. They were brought by settlers back to the Old World, where it then also became popular. In addition to those two ingredients, we also have wintergreen and vanilla bean. So wintergreen, like the name suggests, is something that even in winter is still green. It has this sort of minty quality to it. You might have had a wintergreen Lifesaver as a frame of reference, but it gives it this really minty tone to the real warming properties of those specific, of the sarsaparilla or sarsaparilla and the sassafras. Both of those herbs are ones that really support fevers and colds, and just again helping with the immune system. And root beer is just one of those really unique flavor profiles. And so when you make it yourself, again, you can flavor your kombucha, you can flavor your water kefir, you can just add it to bubbly water, and now you've got root beer soda, but it's in a much healthier format than the artificial preservatives, than the sort of fake root beer flavoring that you'll find in commercial root beer.
And because of the mint, it's actually a bit of a soothing beverage. After a meal, it's nice to have a little bit of that in some sparkling water. I use a soda siphon to make my own sparkling water, but it's a great like little after dinner thing to sip on and calm the stomach a little bit.
Absolutely. And oh, look.
Whoa, we're bubbling.
Yep, we're bubbling here. So now we've got a really nice boil coming here. It looks beautiful. It smells amazing. We're going to turn it down, give it a little stir, and then we're just going to let it on that low heat simmer. Again, it could be 20 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. So you'll just want to set your timer and maybe check on it once every few minutes to make sure that it hasn't overboiled. And as I said before, if it has, just go ahead and add a little more water to it. Now you'll have an even more concentrated version of all those great nutrients. And so the boiling and steeping process, this is called decoction. I had to think of the word. But decoction is this process of using longer steeping times and simmering times in order to extract more of the nutritional value out of the plant material we're working with. And then this plant material is something that's going to make great compost. You could dry it out and make potpourri with it. But most of the time, I think we're just giving it back to the earth if we can.
All right.
All right. So that's done. So this is simmering. This is the pot we worked on earlier, and it's looking like it's ready for our final steps here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to strain it. Now, included in the kit is this piece of cheesecloth. And the reason we do that is sometimes the strainer holes could be a little large. This one happens to be quite fine. It's lovely. And we're going to use the cheesecloth. So I've laid it out into our strainer here to make sure that we can then pull it and squeeze more out of our ingredients. We've got a bowl here. And so all of this is included in our recipe instructions. And so we include this really handy dandy card, super easy. And then we also have in here just some ways you can enjoy it. So I realize this might look backwards to you, but we've got elderberry soda, we have flavoring our Jun or water kefir, the elderberry soother. And then you can also just take the syrup if you're in an acute illness situation. So if you're not feeling good, you can just take a little bit of the syrup as like a cough syrup or a medicine or something like this. Our moment of truth, we're going to take our decocted. So here's what it looks like as it's boiled down. So it's all looking that very beautiful, deep purple color. Now that purple color is telling us this is rich in antioxidants and anthocyanins,
yes,
and flavonols, as we mentioned earlier. And those are just so good for us. And of course, we love our plants. We love our herbs. Herbal medicine is what humans have used for thousands of years. And so we're just honoring tradition, we're honoring nature, we're honoring our ancestors when we engage in making these types of medicines. These are preventatives. They're things that help heal our family members and we've made them with love. We have that benefit of that energy and that healing in there.
And do you want to mention that we're trying to make sure we get all the elderberries because we're going to squeeze them. So we want to get every last drop of goodness out of there.
That's right. So we're just scraping the pan to get everything into our sieve.
There we go.
With our cheesecloth. And then yes, with the back of the spoon now, we're going to press as much as we can out of here. And again, it looks like it's a lot of stuff, and it is, and that's because we made a really nutritious concentrated product. This is looking really good in here, this pot of hot syrup. And so again, with the raw honey, we're not going to add that right away. We're going to want to let this cool. However, it's super easy to use. All right, we've got a good squeeze with the back of this. And now we can take this cheesecloth and try to get a little bit more more juice out of our berries here by giving it a twirl. So remember, this is very hot, so be careful.
And even as you're picking it up, I'm seeing some of the juice still streaming out of it.
Yes.
And you don't want to leave any of that behind.
And so a twirl here, and that, just like when I make my nut milk at home, it just causes it all to get a little bit more out. And so yes, if you didn't have cheesecloth, if you were doing this at home, you could use a nut milk. Same type of principle, right? We're just going to squeeze a little bit more out. And this sieve is really fine, so I'm not worried about bits falling into our liquid. We can even scrape the bottom of the sieve just to make sure we have everything. So now we have this 2 cups of beautiful dark elderberry.
Yum!
So at this point it's not syrup because we haven't added our honey, but that would be something. Once this steam stops steaming here, we're then going to add the honey. So we can add the entirety of this bottle, and that'll make it a thicker, richer syrup, or we could use 8 ounces, anywhere between 8 and 12 ounces. So if you wanted to save some of this honey to put into your coffee or anything else, you certainly could. However, you're also welcome to use the entire bottle in this syrup. So once it's cool enough, we'll add that, we'll stir it, and then we're going to put it into a glass jar and store it in the fridge. And as mentioned, there's a lot of really great ways that we can work with the elderberry syrup. So again, in an acute situation, you can take it directly. Yes, exactly.
Like this.
A mason jar like this with a cap. And then we do store it in the fridge. It's gonna keep in the fridge for quite a while. So that could be 6 weeks, it could be 6 months, just depending. Of course, if you notice any mold growing on it, that would be when we want to dispose of it, but probably you're going to go through it faster than that. So in the winter, this becomes a family staple for us, where at night I like to make, yes, an elderberry soother.
Pro tip, you want to have a funnel, a jar funnel.
Oh, that's what this is. I was like, do I drink out of this? No. There's a little hole in the bottom.
Yes, so that's a jar funnel.
Oh, I love this.
And when you open the jar, it means that you don't spill any because
right.
the opening is wider. The funnel is wider, and then it means you get all of your syrup in there. Yes.
And so if this weren't steaming so much, I might go ahead and put it in here, but I can feel this jar.
Yeah, the jar's a little cool,
so we don't want the glass to break. So we would wait until this has cooled down a little bit. But that's how we make elderberry syrup. It's super easy. It's super fun. The kit is $28 for the raw honey and $23 for the sugar.
And everybody needs it.
Everybody needs it. And if you buy this at the store pre-made, which you certainly can do, you're just going to get about half the amount of what we made here. But I hope this was informative and you got a lot out of learning about elderberry syrup and other things that can help boost your immune system during cold season. Well, let's see, and maybe this is cool enough. So our liquid, it stopped steaming. So we have our beautiful juice here. This is our elderberry and chai spice mix that's just been on the stove. It's nice and concentrated. So we're gonna pour it into our jar here. Yeah, that makes it so easy and nothing gets stuck. And then we're gonna add some honey. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, so it's got a little seal. Just pop that open, and this honey is really good. I think
this honey is from
Waxahachie, Texas.
Yay!
Yes. So we're just gonna pour, I don't even need to use the lid anymore. I'm just gonna pour this in. It's nice and warm, but not too hot. So we're maintaining the healthy elements of, and yes, this is a lot of honey. So you're not gonna just drink this, 8 ounces of this. That would be way too much. So how much should we use? So for the soda, it's 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. So this is all about your personal preference. And again, we can do this cold. over ice. If it were summer, we can have it room temperature, or we can even put it into hot water. And then I always like to add just like a squeeze of lime, just for a little extra citrus and to help cut some of the sweetness of it. We'll do a spoonful each. There we go. That looks beautiful.
Right.
I don't want to lick this spoon, but I'm going to put it down. And then I'll let you operate this. So there's not even that much. And this is why when we're making our 2 cups, it's going to last us for quite a while. And so that's where we store it in the fridge and we'll get a nice long life out of it.
And so this little device is called a soda siphon. This is different than a soda stream, one, because it's not a plastic bottle. There's a couple of issues with soda stream. First of all, soda stream is great, way better than just buying plastic bottle soda things. However, every time you have to open it, you're letting some of the carbonation out. This stores all of the carbonation in here, and so you don't have to worry about it all. You can hear there's liquid in here, and this is already starting to get cold again just by doing that. But it stores it all in here, ecologically friendly, and there's just a little cartridge that is recyclable. So it makes it very easy, and then we just go like this.
Beautiful. Hi, welcome from Darjeeling, Queen of Hills. Beautiful fizz. Look how lovely that is as the water interacts with the elderberry syrup. We get a really fun soda feel out of it. I'm going to taste it. Oh yeah, that's good. And so the bubbles are really fun, and then the flavor's fun. And like I said, I always like a little fresh citrus
first.
So actually it's elderberry syrup soda. So we've just made our elderberry syrup with our little kit here. Cheers! Delicious, refreshing, not too sweet.
Fabulous all the way down.
Yes.
From the front of the mouth to the back of the throat.
We're boosting our immunity. We're getting our flavonoids. We're getting our vitamin C.
Lots of vitamin C. The elderberries have vitamin C.
Antioxidant.
The citrus has vitamin C.
We have our warming spices. So this is just a little slice of heaven in a glass. Super easy to make. Great to mix with everything. Wonderful gift for friends. So if you're looking for a homemade gift to give with people, the elderberry syrup is fantastic. But thank you everybody for being here today. So appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
And let us know. Drop us a little comment if you end up making it, how you liked it. Is this something you make for yourself? Do you make fire cider? We want to hear from you. So definitely let us know what you're doing to help boost your immunity during the cold season so that we can all learn and grow together. Don't forget, trust your gut.